Oh my god!
We're early!
Hi everybody!
Because it's Grace!
It's
Which
time!
means we're on time, because it's 7 o'clock.
It's true!
Early, actually.
That's true. Hi everybody! Welcome back to Grace Attorney, also sometimes referred to as the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, but who's doing that? Hi!
Who's counting?
It has been a few months, I think 3 or 4 months or so, something like that. We've played several games since then, such as Resident Evil and quite a lot of Kirby and other stuff. Four Swords Adventures, yes,
yeah.
there's been a whole bunch of things. And now we're ready to get back to it. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Time to figure out which one of these buttons I should be picking. Continue?
Sure.
No, I hate to alarm you,
Uh-oh.
but are we supposed to be hearing anything right now?
I hear everything.
Yes, we are.
I don't hear anything either.
You don't hear anything either?
I also do not hear.
Could it be if
Oh,
I
you
do
turned
that?
up Parsec.
Did that help?
Yeah, it was just very quiet.
Great. Okay, cool.
Got it.
Okay, yeah, I got you.
How's it
Here
Saps with the very loud games can hear things that are very quiet.
How are you not blowing your ears out?
No, because I turn things down to 10% every time.
4, 5, 1.
There it is.
This?
Maybe I should
No.
turn-
Yes.
No.
No. That's
Oh no,
the-
you're right.
that's
That's
the
wrong.
first-
Yeah, this is Adventures.
Oh!
Oh!
Here we go. Oh, I should have been listening to this music the whole time. I see.
You fucked up.
I see. I have been informed that we should not try out these DLC costumes until stream 2. So that's what we're gonna be doing.
Now,
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
when
Yeah.
was the last time you closed your Switch?
Well, I mean, don't worry too much about it. This game might have still been open when I opened it up today. It's
Oh
fine.
my god.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't play my Switch that much these days. Okay. Greatest 32 Resolve!
It's fine. The Switch can handle being in sleep mode for long periods of time.
Yeah.
Too much Elden
Okay,
Ring.
adjusting my volume, and I think we're good.
Birds. Or cicadas. Either or.
Cicadas, yeah.
Cicada's the kind of bird,
Oh,
right?
Oh no.
they fly.
Ah.
Bright sunshine.
I
Looking out over the vast
realize-
ocean. Those days in London
Jay, her dad
seem
died.
like a dream,
I know.
but I do miss my time in England's vast
Or
capital.
someone else.
I guess that's one
You know,
character who's not coming
He's
back.
flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer. I've no doubt that at this very moment he's fighting some noble cause in court.
Sure he is.
Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
Leonard?
Oh,
back.
You!
Swan
She's
song.
back.
This
I came
bitch.
here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life
Wait,
as a lawyer.
What?
Oh.
What?
Ark, you're not a lawyer.
What do you mean?
I'm the main character now.
Okay.
Lunar's a lawyer.
Bitch.
What?
What? Oh.
I ask for your guidance.
Died smiling.
Kazuma-sama.
Oh, that was Cosmo, not her dad.
Okay, it's not her dad.
Still sad.
Oh, wait.
Already, we are off to a wild start here.
What's going on? The Adventure of the
Yeah,
Blossoming Attorney.
That was 2 twists in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Giselle Brett is dead.
Damn.
It is August. And we're in the Supreme
Dude.
Court
August.
of Judicature.
It's almost my birthday.
Oh.
Oh. Here I am again after
Oh,
9
no.
months. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan.
Wait.
I feel so nervous, but I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself.
Yes, Happy.
we're in Japan, in a court case.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. What, you thought that they were gonna start off this game without bringing him back? Come on.
Yeah, I was just like, we're
alive!
in the UK. He's
Oh,
alive.
thank goodness he's alive.
He's alive.
Ah, good. You're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late. Oh, yes.
Nope.
Yes. Good morning, sir.
That's your dad.
I hardly recognized you. You got a fine figure, Counsel. But you look as white as a sheet. And those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either.
Oh dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish I'd never been born.
Goodness. Not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say.
You're right.
Yujin Mikotoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And, of course, my brilliant father.
Excuse me. Oh.
Oh.
It was
Oh.
me again. Excuse me. Would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today?
Oh, yes, that's right, miss.
Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me. I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication. This whole thing.
Ray Membami, born the same year as I and my greatest friend.
Oh.
Get right, Ryunosuke.
Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory helping my father. And lately, she's the defendant in today's trial.
Lately, she's a defendant.
Lately.
I mean, is that wrong?
Not truly, but
Accused of committing a truly awful murder. Are you feeling all right? Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed.
Oh my, it's just that. You look so gallant and dashing.
Oh.
Sorry?
And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful.
Goodness. I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am. Oh, does she have...
You would see my little plan for this trial is going to work.
Oh, well, what do you mean, Professor Mikotoba?
Oh, I think I get it.
Oh.
If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax.
Disguise?
Yes. I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father.
Father? What? Is that... Is that you, Susato?
I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Ray.
Oh.
No! What are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, that varsity cap, that varsity cape, that varsity badge? Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student of the Imperial Yume University. A male student.
I see.
Ah, because of the rules of this
Right.
court.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But then why is she pretending to be a lawyer at all?
no one else would defend her.
Maybe.
Probably. I'm so
Why
glad
could-
you think so.
Why can't her dad be a lawyer? It seems like they let anyone in here.
That's true.
I don't know. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke up at 4 this morning to make a start.
But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that?
Well, you see...
It was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial.
My defense?
I want to see.
Oh?
Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born in this body.
Same.
Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female alike.
But women are forbidden.
Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer.
Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me.
Of course. You're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve.
Oh no, I have complete faith in you.
Ray.
It's so strange, though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And
Also,
yet just because you're a woman, what a wretched reason! I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing.
Ray,
I,
please don't look at me like that with those flushed cheeks and doubting eyes. Doubting,
Oh,
doubting, whatever.
I'm sorry. It's just, you really do look so dashing.
Yes, you mentioned that once or twice.
You couldn't pay the price.
Points, lesbian.
You should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man.
I am pleased, I think. It certainly helps to bolster my confidence today.
No matter how hard you try, game, nothing about this is straight.
Ray. You're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see right through it. I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly.
Wonder?
You do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder?
Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right?
Yes. Yes, it is. Perfectly clean.
I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence. Which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be by your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer.
That means so much to me, Susato.
Oh.
Defendant! Counsel! Court is about to begin! Proceed to the courtroom at once!
It wounds.
of course.
You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty.
Oh. Stand aside!
I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast.
Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father, going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But, Father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this?
Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case.
Ah, called it.
I didn't want to burden her with that.
And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case. Refusing.
Refuse.
Reviewing. Is it
Reviewing.
really because of who the victim is?
We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student.
Thank you, Father.
So he's not a lawman.
Yeah, doesn't he work in pharmaceuticals or something?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's like a professor of medicine or something.
Yeah.
I'm
That's why he
Susato
lived.
Mikatoba, a judicial assistant.
So did Wilson, Jay.
Well, it's hard to live a bullet, not a disease.
He does have a point.
You're not
You
wrong.
were shot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
By a swan?
8
that's
months
wh-
ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain.
Who is that?
This game isn't about him.
This is my game now.
Oh.
But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder? Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san.
Good luck, Susato.
Yeah.
So,
Good luck.
was he not ill? Is he just totally fine? Were we
He
lied?
might be somewhat
He was ill, but he got better.
He got better.
Okay.
Time's good.
Or
Time's
we lie.
Yeah, I was wondering if maybe we got lied to. Oh, she looks great.
His hair is different.
So this was Lunar originally, but has been recasted as Jay.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot. What was the voice I used for this one?
Oh, you know, old, stern.
Judge.
That's the voice I have for the fluffy one.
I'll be right back.
It could be the same voice. That's fine.
All right. Look, oh, well, that wouldn't make sense for the British.
I mean, the voice actors
Just do
apparently
low and
disagree.
What's that?
The voice actor.
court is now in session. Something like that.
Oh.
He's got it. I believe in you. It can evolve as it goes.
Doesn't have to be perfect. Go.
Oh, sorry, I guess I can't hear you guys very well.
Oh, you
Automatically
can't?
didn't go very well.
Hmm?
Oh, Jay's having audio issues?
Uh-oh.
Jay's having audio issues?
That's
not
what
a
it
good
sounds
sign.
like. Oh,
He's
Jay, no, you're an audio man.
Audio issues.
Jay, do you want me to put up the claim for a minute?
I don't think he can even hear us.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Jay might maybe have lost internet.
Oh, well, until he's back, Saps, do you want to be the judge?
The court is now in session to hear the trial of Raymond bonding me. The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency.
Look at her! Aww,
Aww.
love that.
Defense counsel, are you ready?
Yes, Your Excellency. We are ready.
Ready.
This is why we shouldn't use the DLC outfits here. I get it.
Yeah, otherwise
I-
this would not make sense at all.
I getcha.
Yes, counsel. According to your registration details, your name is,
Oh,
Ryutaru Naruhodo. Is that correct?
Ryutaro.
Sorry?
Oh, yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you for this little venture. So I'm afraid to say I simply don't put down the first name that sprung to mind.
Dad, please. It's happy.
Well, counsel,
Yes, that's right. That's me. I mean,
They changed the name.
Ryutaro. Yes! I am Ryutaro, as he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan.
Ah.
Wonder.
Sorry. It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen.
Naruhodo?
A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, could that perchance be?
You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain as part of a study program. This is...
His cousin!
Oh.
Oh, that's right. Ryutaro here has been studying in the provinces, but was called to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers.
Any of them!
Tut tut tut. What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy.
How dare you? Susato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys. I won't have you making fun of her.
I'm noticing that Ray has a lot of the same animations that Susato had in the last game.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's intended.
Her?
Oh,
Please be careful, Ray.
What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not.
I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand how Naruhodo-san goes through. Or what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit.
Oh.
Huh?
They're want to flit.
Sure. The case
It's a
to
word.
be heard. The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may very well affect the very future of our empire.
It's familiar.
This again.
Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet, for proceeding for such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock. Dear me. Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense. To determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom.
9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now, this same judge tested him as well. And even though he was just a student at the time, even of law, he passed the test with flying colors. For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy.
So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions?
Oh.
No coat.
All right, it's time to prove myself. Slapper.
Aww.
You did that to begin with.
Yes, Your Excellency. But please do make them simple.
She said it the slapper.
She did a slap. Very well.
Am I back?
Yes,
You're
you're back.
back!
Hey,
You
Jay.
returned to
Okay.
us.
Hey,
What
happened?
happened?
Yeah.
I had to reset the audio device, but I think I'm good now.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you good to take the judge?
Yes.
Okay.
I've
And let me
given
rub
you
this-
a start.
What?
I've given you a leg to begin with. I've given
Okay.
you a hint to how to do the voice, but if you would needed it.
A leg start.
Okay. I haven't heard you, so but cool.
Oh!
That's right. Very well. To start with, you will state the name of the victim.
That is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried.
What's the matter?
Why does becoming the protagonist make you a dumbass?
I mean,
Anxiety, nerves.
Yeah.
Come on.
Ark, you say this,
Mhm.
but we're streaming, and you know what happens to us when we stream.
Do I become the protagonist when I start streaming?
I mean, you're the host of this stream, so you're the protagonist of that stream.
You're calling me a dumb.
No, I'm calling all of us dumbasses.
Oh, well,
We all share the same brain cell. I thought we knew this.
it's mine for now.
Oh.
Streaming makes you a dumbass, apparently.
Hmm.
Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruto-san goes through. Like it or not, minds are wont to blank.
It's want, madame. Want. It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position, and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances.
Oh dear, this is a dismal failure.
Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem.
Of course, the court record.
Which I don't think it's given me yet.
Yes, the answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record.
That's right. Just use R to open the court record.
Can I do it now? I can't. I still can't do it.
Then you need to flip to the People section with R. And don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely.
All right. Check the court record with R. That's where the information I need will be.
Oh, there it is. Great. Poof. For a second there, I was worried my
Yeah.
controller was messing up. All right. Time of death just after 2 p.m. Death is believed to be due to trauma to the victim's lung from a knife blade. Only a single wound was identified. Giselle Brett, female British. Time of death 11th of August around 2 p.m. Ascertained by examination and witness statements. Single deep stab wound from behind, piercing a lung, fatal hemorrhage. Death would have occurred within minutes. Extreme meiosis, pupil concentration, was observed in the victim in both eyes.
Constriction?
What did I say?
Constriction.
Yeah. What did I say?
Pupil constriction.
Concentration.
Oh, whoops. Oh well. And now this.
I got it.
Great. Hi, everybody. The victim of the case, who was a former British exchange student 9 months ago, she was found guilty of the murder of visiting Professor Dr. John H. Wilson. Professor Dr. John H. Wilson. So you're telling me the entire last game I was looking for an incredibly racist
You're
woman
wrong.
now she's
You
just
were
dead.
wrong all the time.
What are,
Doctor.
what are you doing to me, Ace Attorney? It's fine. All right.
You're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case?
It's Giselle.
Ouchie.
Nope.
Ouchie. Yes! The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett.
Giselle Brett.
A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure.
Wasn't that court case kept secret though? Wouldn't people not know about that really?
Well, if you were in the courtroom, then you'd remember.
Yeah, but
True.
our defendant wasn't probably. I mean, I guess I don't know that, but
Correct.
Maybe the secret got out.
And being a member of our Empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then is her name indelibly associated with your own empire's judicial history?
We're already starting with the big words.
Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
If for some reason you decided to play this game before the first one, I guess I've got you, but Jesus, what are you doing?
Did we start the previous game 9 months ago?
Oh, that would be cool.
Is that possible?
That would be fun.
That would be
That
fun.
sounds plausible.
Check it a YouTube.
Yeah.
Check the VOD. Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Giselle Brett. Behind the woman's student persona was the face of.
A victim. Queen Victoria.
Whoa.
A killer, I guess.
9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. And the culprit was Giselle Brett.
Yes, she was a killer.
The first VOD for the last game was posted on August 8th.
Yeah, so barely, like, it's 8 months, but almost 9.
That's fun. That's fun.
That's fun.
Yeah.
At the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain. And it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe.
I think that.
Oh, this was the judge?
I guess it must
I
be
think
the
it's the
judge.
judge. Yeah.
Oh, I guess so.
I believe he was an associate of yours, Professor Mikotoba.
Yes. I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly.
Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here in the Supreme Court.
Oh.
A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested upon suspicion of murder. A second-year English language student by the name of Ryonosuke Naruhodo.
Don't think about that too hard, Judge. It's fine.
With the help of his best friend, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense and exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett. Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime, however was questioned about the motive that drove her to take Mr. Wilson's life. She gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion.
Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. It was decided she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead.
Why Shanghai?
There's a British consular court there.
Correct. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon last week. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board of a steamship.
And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishman was killed!
Only the day before?
That will do. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant.
Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency. Over the first hurdle.
Now a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Aochi. Oh, God.
As your wish, as is your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th August in broad daylight.
Pretty.
On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky, at a secluded bathing spot by the sea, the incident occurred inside a small beach hut erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung, an injury which proved fatal. There were two persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett, in her bathing attire, and the accused, Raymond Bommy.
What was she wearing?
Accordingly, there can be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. The police arrived rapidly at the scene of crime and promptly arrested the young lady.
Well, that extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say.
That's certainly true. The prosecution's summary was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions.
What do you mean?
As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel and what he said about...
The bathing spot, being alone together. Oh yeah, definitely this. Definitely this.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, what are you alleging was the motive?
You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement.
Tut tut tut. It's a yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand.
I beg your pardon?
No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe.
Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikotoba in his laboratory at the moment.
I can confirm that. The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility.
Fascinating to hear. Now, another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikotoba, whose research were you assisting then?
I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
Dr. Wilson? The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brent 9 months ago?
Miss
Well,
Brent.
Almost 9, I think more like 8.
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true?
Yes. Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man.
Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the Englishwoman who killed him.
Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what she'd done. A powerful hatred.
Ray, please.
Oh no, Ray, careful what you're saying. Ah.
The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency.
Well, it was clearly a trap all along.
How wicked of him to use Ray's underlying respect for her former mentor against her like that. I must find out more details and something we can use to bolster our defense. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel and what he said about...
A powerful motive. No, let's go to the bathing spot, sure.
If I may, Prosecutor Aochi?
What do you want? You fresh-faced young yokel student.
I wonder, Could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot.
No, I mentioned a bathing spot.
My mistake.
My apologies. Clearly, my modernity.
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 Maternity.
Thank you,
Maternity, sir.
Ghost. has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West.
Oh, like an onsen.
We were told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skins.
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh.
I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder. Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea?
And why would she ever return to this country?
Yeah. Well, she hadn't left the country.
Yeah, she hadn't left yet.
She hadn't let. Oh, I see.
She was going to the next day.
Oh.
Yeah. For all time's sake, I believe.
So wait a minute. Sorry, I'm stuck on that. I thought that she got sent to Shanghai 9 months ago after the trial.
No, she was
She
going
was
to be sent.
sentenced to.
She was going to be sent to Shanghai, and she was going to board the boat to take her to Shanghai the
So
day after she was killed.
She's been in custody in Japan for 9 months.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, I don't think I understood
Uh-huh.
that.
Sorry?
Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day.
I thought she escaped last game. Ah,
She didn't. That was never mentioned.
damn it.
It was never said anything that she had even left Japan.
I guess so.
Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast.
That's sus.
And the British embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply.
That's hella sus.
But on what grounds would we agree to such a request?
So she could get murdered.
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal. I tell you, this country's blah 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 blah.
Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I. In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could. Oh.
It's gotta be.
no.
It's gotta be.
It's gotta be. But, in fact, a murder took place.
I say don't look at me. It was a young student girl who did it, not I.
No one has proved that yet.
I
I
wanna.
wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to.
At this stage, I
poor
need to
heart
gather
can't
more
take it.
information, I think. Yeah, this is repeating dialogue.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I think we're alone now.
Yeah, why would they be alone
Stabbing
together?
of my knife is the only sound.
Mambami-san?
Yes? What is it?
You're really bad at this.
Naruhodo-san!
I'm really starting to wish she'd made my alias Ryutaro Susato.
This is a good face.
Aw.
Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her.
I was chillaxing? Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present. A detective who was guarding Miss Brett, for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all.
But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else.
This is why we need lady cops. Wait, no.
The truth is, there is only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn.
Miss Breath.
It was the last breath.
Oh.
It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's breath.
No!
Now.
No.
Because
No.
as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. and the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again. Ba.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, Council.
Never!
I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now.
Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university.
She was allowed to come. Oh, that pisses me off.
Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions.
Seeing the murderer of the mentor for whom she had such great respect enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment.
Poor Ray.
So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind to pursue this exhibit, peruse this exhibit. Pursue?
Pursue it.
Excellent catch there, sir.
Yes, that's all.
Thank you. I do my best, ghost man behind me that speaks to me almost daily. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime immediately following the grim incident.
Yes, thank you, Council. A tragic image.
Very tragic indeed. Give me just one
I was-
moment. Give me one moment. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
I was further away from the microphone, so I thought you were going to turn me up
no,
there
no,
for a
you-
second.
No, you were loud.
Should have stabbed
Now.
the bird.
I have a feeling the real killer is hiding in the dress on the top right there.
That would be
That's-
intense.
Possible.
It would. As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have been hidden. Nowhere else!
Nowhere else.
Hold up. Can I see it again?
I actually don't know if you can. Not yet.
It's not in the court record
Okay.
yet.
Well, the court will accept this photographic print as evidence, so now it is.
Now
we
you can.
There you go.
It's mine now. Give me a minute. Okay, Wonder, what do you got?
Okay, yeah, that's pretty obvious.
Oh, her purse from the last case. That's fun. It's hanging
there's-
from
there's
the
that
thing
too.
on the top right.
Oh,
yeah.
Also,
Yeah.
Bird dead too.
Bird dead. Bird is
Oh,
also
they
dead.
killed
They're
the
dead.
they killed the swan on her hat too.
Also, just look where she would have been sitting.
Look where she
Mhm.
would have been sitting. Huh?
Yeah.
Oh, at the back.
I
I
understand.
Oh, and there's like a slit in the wall. Oh.
Yep.
Mm.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I can actually start suggesting things and not feel like I'm actually spoiling them because
Yeah,
I remember or not.
yes.
we haven't said it, but this is like the only Ace Attorney game that none of us know.
All of us are blind in this game, and
It's
that's
fun.
exciting.
Yeah.
Oh, was I
Yeah.
not supposed to play this one?
Damn it!
Oh.
No!
I'm kidding.
Oh,
Yeah,
you
you're-
jokester.
You're kidding.
Wink.
As I understand it, then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time. This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime, and damning evidence.
Witnesses? But who?
Oh, you know. One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective. Oh.
Show me. Show me this man's.
I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt.
Show me this man's.
Smack.
Very well, then, counsel. Bring forth your witnesses.
I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, have been waiting for this moment.
Sorry?
Oh yes, I haven't forgotten. That trial 9 months ago. Here in this very courthouse. When that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me.
Good transition.
Ah! Ryunosuke Naruhodo!
Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten.
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've become conceited with age, Council. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new.
It doesn't matter what's going on in this series. Kazuma will return when you're least expecting it.
It's the way of the world. May you never forget that.
And then he died.
I never got to regrew it properly. I'm still working on it. Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolled. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died.
The start of your own mini Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Council?
Fuck that! Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the ouchie growth that will totally not disappear at the end of this. You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown.
I think that tiny growth is trying to tell me something.
What's happening?
I'm afraid I can't really see. Where's the hope exactly?
I said silence! Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you! And my victory will be fertilized upon a seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned.
Ouchie, you're already getting very silly on us.
Getting?
Mm-hmm.
With that, the prosecution calls the witness to the stand.
It looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. The prosecution and defense each has much to lose.
A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life.
There he is!
God
What are
damn
you
it.
doing here?
Hey!
What are you doing here?
He went back to Japan.
Yeah,
at the end
but
of the last game.
He got involved.
Witness. I've forgotten my detective voice. Witnesses, please state your names and occupation to the court. Oh. What was it again? Oh. Turtle!
There's a turtle on his head!
Little turtle.
Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm disguised, obviously, so I can go undetected.
You.
And I am, well, the next big thing in books, an author renowned throughout the capital, in fact, yes. Soon to be sold out, the Sacrificial
Hey.
I Am Cat, the sensational success by Sosuke Natsume.
Oh, that's great, sir. It's great. Just keep that up. Keep it going.
Proud
I
of
don't know
you.
who that is behind me.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness!
Struggling student from the provinces, please. You needn't be in awe of me.
Soseki Natsu, I wish that we could tell you who we are.
I needn't.
It's only natural that you feel nervous in my presence. But all of you, please relax. Call me Sosuke even.
Soseki.
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 Yes. What on earth is Soseki-san doing here?
That's a good question.
Tread carefully, Susato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun.
Yes. Yes, of course, I know. I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him.
We haven't seen much, but it looks like good changes, maybe.
And as for Inspector Hosonaga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe.
Why do you have a turtle tied to your head, sir?
I
Why
like the
do you
turtle, though.
not?
It's very cute.
It's so great.
Do I have something on my face?
On your head,
No, actually.
yeah.
Well, your glasses, for one. Although they don't seem to be helping you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either.
Maybe he has.
He has. Ah, I suppose it's this disguise, is it? I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly.
Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But what business does a writer such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san?
Chillaxing.
Ah, well, you see, I've been asked that day to give a lecture on the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less.
At Yume University?
After the lecture, I had very pleasant conversations with a researcher from the medical science department. The professor over there, in fact.
With my with Professor Mikotoba?
Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about 2 former students who'd studied in Great Britain.
Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. They secretly spy, snapshot, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy.
Oh, that's a good one. That's going in the books. That's pretty good. Nice work, sir. Keep it going.
Oh, the
So he
ink
doesn't
stain on
even
his
see
hand.
him.
Oh.
Oh, the ink stain on that guy's hand is cute.
As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. Read it at your leisure, my provisional struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies.
Thank you very much. He practically threw that paper at me.
Okay, it's mine now. Newspaper containing an article about a discussion between my father and Soseki-san. The debate became quite spirited.
Anyway, following my interview with the professor...
Yes, tell me about that in just a moment. What do we have here? Oh, that's fun. Look at that.
Oh, wow.
Oh, hang on. Happy. Good. There's nothing else here, though. It doesn't look like. And I can't read. Cat.
For once.
Wait, let me see that. Cat. Yeah.
That cat.
Love that cat.
Cat.
Yeah, that's
Love
good.
that cat.
Kitty kitty.
The lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to this country's coast. Those were her words.
As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory under strict surveillance, of course.
At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her. That detective I am at liberty to divulge was me, Chief Inspector Satoru Hosonaga.
Is it not a real turtle? It looks like maybe it's just a toy.
I don't know.
It's gotta be a
We'll
turtle.
find out.
Like a beach toy?
It's gotta be a turtle at some point. Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems. It was extremely challenging to clear all the other members of the public from the vicinity of the beach. But fortunately, I am at a peak physical fitness at the moment, so...
Are you?
I didn't say my peak was good.
Oh.
I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly.
Now, you've survived one video game, and most people survive. Well, I guess Giselle Brett is dead now. Oh, uh-oh.
The track record is not in my favor.
Oh, my, Inspector, you... Well, you do have something on your face now.
Ah, how unsightly. I do apologize.
Does that mean you went to the beach too, Father?
No. Fortunately, I had work to finish off. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that, as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place.
And of course, being a renowned author, I'd like to decline the invitation.
We didn't like to.
He didn't like to decline.
Ah, but if only I had, I'd never have seen that awful sight! Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret!
Oh, you're just full of them, sir. You're doing so great.
Who are you? Very well, I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of all that you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast.
Of course, Your Excellency.
And please don't bleed on my floor. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret I am.
I'm glad that Sasaki-san got to go to the beach after he had his terrible time last game. Although, this did happen while he was there.
On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise.
I just managed to catch the crab when I suddenly heard a caterwaul from behind me.
I ran to the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question.
Yes! That young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, and she was stabbing wildly.
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she had been stabbed the victim multiple times. Multiple times!
Sasaki, come on.
Indeed, it does appear from his testimony that both witnesses were present, or here present saw it. The very moments of the heinous crime.
What?
Now, if you will recall, I promised evidence as well. Here's the... Oh. What phrase did I use again? Ah, yes. It was it. Damning evidence.
Language.
Hell!
What have you here, Counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it?
Correct, Your Excellency. I found out the scene whilst examining the body. It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength,
No.
the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would possibly identify her killer.
No.
What?
Stop it.
Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over to the photographic print of the crime scene once more.
Ah, goodness me. Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand.
That's right. The fountain pen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency.
Ha! The owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite, into the obanite. It's in there. R.M. Ray Manambi. Membami. The initials are the defendant.
Those are
No!
my initials. I'm not English.
Oh,
Yeah, why would she have her initials in English?
That's true.
Fancy.
This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as court evidence.
I totally don't know any English.
Sure. So, have I omitted anything? Decisive testimony and damning evidence. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel.
I don't understand. Prosecutor Aoji of 9 months ago had none of this man's poise.
Counsel for the defense, you may begin your cross-examination now.
I'm napping.
Naruhodo-san!
Naruhodo. That means... Oh, yes, me.
Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom?
Is there any other Naruhodo I should be aware about?
Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom.
Cousin Ryutaro, pull yourself together, please.
All right, I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant. Find inconsistencies in the witnesses' testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it. That's how a real lawyer would handle a cross-examination. So let's see what I can do.
Okay, sounds good. Hey guys.
Hi. Gameplay time.
Hey, you mind holding it?
In that jaunty disguise?
Correct. Wait, no! I mean, it wasn't the first time I worn this swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested. Do what must be done to keep the English one under surveillance. Those were my orders that day.
And this tried and tested outfit was the answer?
Being able to blend flawlessly into a crowd is an important part of the detective's job.
Oh.
I submerged myself in the salty water, leaving only Mr. Turtle floating inconspicuously on the surface.
Mr. Turtle!
Mr. Turtle!
Mr. Turtle loves the water.
This is great.
I love this.
But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, really, was there?
If that meant you late arriving on the scene, I think perhaps you had your priorities wrong.
No, he's doing great. Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment.
It's fine.
At the moment.
Hey, Soseki.
You're describing the victim's scream, presumably, Soseki-san?
In more literary terms, you might say it was... Oh, it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. Kia! Or the like. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to be describing things so.
He really has got his confidence when he got back from England.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Soseki-san wasn't like this at all in England.
Anyway, I spun around at the noise and the beach hut immediately fell under my gaze.
Yes, the beach hut.
The area is popular with government ministries. Many have seaside retreats there for the rest of and recuperation. The locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet.
Seagulls.
Seagulls don't count, they are bastards. The beach hut is a simple structure, erected as a place for people to change and take refuge from the sun.
Although the Englishwoman commandeered the hut for herself, which meant that I was forced to change into my swimwear on the sand.
Ah, I imagine that was rather embarrassing for you.
Well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut at a run. Or in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hutwise.
Oh, yes.
Please do not toss crabs.
Wait, by pair you don't mean to say... But how could that be?
No, you misunderstand. Obviously, I mean the victim and the defendant, Raymond Bomison.
Oh, that would have been helpful if you could have just said that on the outset.
If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes. Dear me, pinning your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish. Very foolish.
It really was an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized that before I said something silly.
So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court exactly, tell the court how exactly you found the aforementioned pair in the hut? Well, it was a sorry sight. A really grisly scene. I parted with the Norn curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the victim sprawled on the sand. Turtle, stop shaking your head. My glasses very nearly cracked at the ominous sight that met my eyes.
Mr. Turtle's just worried about you, Hosonaga.
How thoroughly appalling!
Ugh. He doesn't appear to be lying there. Well, Soseki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hosonaga is saying, I wonder?
Ah, you were like a literary man's opinion.
Hold it!
Stabbed wildly? You actually saw her do it?
Oh, indeed! The terrible spectre! The terrapin inspector! The bloody torrent! And the author's torment!
Oh, do you mind if I steal that one, sir? That's pretty good. Oh, that's going on the front
Who
page.
are you?
Ah!
Every sight and every sound is succumbed to my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least, as a future literary sensation.
Counsel, what on earth was that shrill effeminate scream?
Oh, no. No, what are you insinuating? I'm as manly a Japanese man as you.
Yo.
I wonder if I might interject here, Suzaki-san. Something you said is troubling me. Yes, I'm definitely Japanese. That was my impression with your words just now, I believe. You know what? I'm gonna leave that sound.
So, do you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've described?
I just want to hover on this for a second. Twitchy twitch.
We're back to old Suzuki.
No! I mean, yes! I know what I saw! My ears did not deceive me when I heard that scream. Hence, my eyes didn't deceive me either when they also heard it. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I would publish it on tomorrow's newspaper serial.
Oh, what?
Newspaper cereal sounds disgusting.
Maybe rather cardboardy.
It sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn.
I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's going to become.
Oh dear. How awkward.
That's the idea, because then we slam him with the evidence.
Yeah, hold it.
Multiple times!
She was stabbed multiple times? How can you be sure of that?
Very simply, from the blood on the blade.
The blood?
When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding their blade raised up in the air.
Yes, that's right! I saw it too!
Oh.
And I noted that there was blood on the blade already at that point. In other words, the victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived on the scene.
Yes, that's right! Fucking gross!
But
And the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand too. All of which means I can be sure the victim did not die instantly.
Yes, right! Saw it too!
Wait. What if the victim isn't Giselle Brett?
What do you mean?
What if it's the actual owner of the pen that is the victim in this scenario?
Oh, they swap bodies to
So-
hide, disguise
So
themselves.
they misidentified the victim?
Yes.
But are you implying that Ray is the one that actually died, but wouldn't Suzato notice
No.
then?
No. What I mean is Giselle Brett is now hiding somewhere
That is
to
possible.
avoid
escaped.
punishment.
Because that would be funny, though.
Did you
Maybe
say?
a year in London was too much for him. He sounds like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese.
The logic of your argument is sound, at least.
Well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly, without any single flaw.
Perhaps it should have been your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly. That's just my personal opinion, of course.
He's fine.
Oh, the poor turtle.
Oh,
I'm going to
no, he's
hide
hiding.
now.
Counsel, you will refrain from mocking the witness.
Am I wrong, though?
No.
Oh no, I have so many thoughts whirling around in my head. It's all I can do to stand here, wide-eyed and mute.
Goodness, my dear. You really must try to calm down.
But how am I supposed to find an inconsistency in what these two gentlemen are saying?
I don't see why.
I don't see why either of them would have any reason to lie.
What you must remember, I think, is that witnesses may inadvertently lie at times. For various reasons, a misunderstanding, a mistaken observation, a delusion even.
Ah, a delusion.
What's important is that we determine the truth, and there's only one sure way to do that.
Yes, with evidence, of course.
Spoken like a true judicial assistant. During witness testimony, you can use R to pick a piece of evidence to present for consideration. So you need to listen carefully to each statement and compare what's said to the details in the court record. If you find some conflicting information, that may be the inconsistency you're looking for.
Yes, it's all about inconsistencies.
Once you've identified a witness's statement that appears to conflict with a piece of evidence, present the evidence to the witness with X, and the way ahead will present itself to you, I'm sure.
Yes. All right then. I'll consider the details of all the evidence in the court record against each statement to find an inconsistency. I hope I'm up to the task.
Don't forget that you can have the witness repeat their statements as many times as you'd like. Everyone has to start at the beginning, remember? So those wide eyes are quite forgivable. And besides, there's no one else to defend the poor girl.
You're right. I need to listen to the testimony again from the start.
Nah, I think we got it, Suzato. Okay, so
Yeah,
we're gonna
we've
go,
got it.
We gotta go to the last one.
Yeah.
So blood on the blade. It proved to be that she stabbed the victim multiple times. Except that this says only a single knife wound was identified, dude!
But
Objection!
the blood!
That accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhiro-san have stood here on this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed.
Well, what's the meaning of the menacing post, Counsel?
I'd like the witness to clarify something for me.
What? Where? Oh!
Not to you, Soseki-san.
Oh!
This query is directed at Inspector Hosonaga.
At me?
In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times.
Yes, that's right. As I said when I entered the hut. The defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon.
And yet, that cannot be.
What?
Get to the point, please, Counsel.
Oh, tiny book.
In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only.
Ah!
In other words, Inspector Hosanaga's testimony is clearly flawed. And Soseki-san, you claim to have seen Membami-san in the throes of stabbing the victim.
Yes, I did. Wildly.
But both you and the inspector confirm the same point. That there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding.
Yes. And?
It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore, there is no way there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred.
True! Then what exactly is your contention, Counsel? Are you ever going to tell us?
Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san in fact saw was not the moment the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body.
Now, you shouldn't really do that because that lets the blood or wound start to bleed. So.
Sure.
When you're
Yeah,
trying
I
to
mean-
murder someone.
Yeah, you're right.
That!
Oh, well, that's simply explained. I wanted her to die.
Oh.
Excellent work, Susanoo. You exploded at them with that objection, and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically.
Yeah, dismantle the system.
Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago. The DLC, I mean, a half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempted to steal the show.
You're right. There were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution,
Let's
who
ignore
has
that
only
part.
half a head of hair.
Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed. In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference.
What? Why not?
Because I said so. Engage your brain, young man! When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim. All you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustached author is prone to moments of extravagance.
Ah!
Hey, you're just like your cousin.
You okay, Soseki?
What's this
I'm
you
in
said?
agreement with the prosecution. If the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion.
But if she was withdrawing the blade...
Then we are back to where we started.
Sorry?
Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is as innocent as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with a demon's cold-blooded composure, too. The prosecution demands an explanation, and it had better be good.
Why did Ray pull out the knife?
Ah, yes. Going for the jugular.
Hmm? What does Father mean by that?
Let the court hear your answer then, counsel.
The truth is, I don't really know. But I have to come up with a plausible reason here, or we won't have a case. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was surely so she could
Save her life. Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But what?
Yeah. Probably.
What did she study again under Wilson?
Probably
Medicine.
medicine, right?
Probably.
Did they ever
I'm just
say?
uncertain.
I'm gonna say save her life.
According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant.
That's correct. I thought she'd have remained unconscious for a short while after sustaining the injury. Indeed, giving her the time to take a hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer.
The point is, being a medical research student, Membami-san was compelled to act when faced with a wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem that this is the best we can expect from this young yokel.
Indeed.
Is it just me, or does it suddenly feel much colder in here?
It does. Your Excellency, if I may.
Speak, witness.
I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertion just put forward by the yokel defense counsel, I mean.
Slipshod?
Yeah, I'm not aware of it either. An excellent idea, Inspector! Our young yokel hopeful has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in the matter of medicine, he appears to possess not a one iota of common sense. Oh, are we actually going to bring it up?
Very well, Inspector. I will permit your request. You will testify again before the court on the subject of the defense counsel's assertion.
Yes, sir. I will do so flawlessly.
Alright, what you got?
Pulling a blade from the wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding.
They did bring it up. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's basic knowledge of that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the victim's dependent would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget that the young student didn't have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor.
Is what you just said true, Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily?
Yes. Think of the weapon as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. Until a doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed.
Oh, I see.
Ah! This is why you yokels should stay in the farm. Even a quack from the obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge. Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again knows this.
Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see, or pulled a blade out of a wound, so...
Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like a bandit.
Father, is it true what they're telling me?
Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge from medics. Ray would have been well aware of it. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways.
But then, why would Ray have done it? Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that it would be fatal to Miss Brett?
I don't know.
Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me. It seemed almost impossible to believe, but could my friend actually have...
Susato,
Yes?
pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here.
Ah!
Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
However, I must warn you that your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with the established fact. I will be moving my education immediately afterwards.
I understand. Believing in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard.
Let's talk about that.
Hold it!
You say doing it without thinking could be a problem. Does that mean that if you used due care and attention, it would be alright?
I wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out, really, but... The blade is like a stopper in the wound. Remove it and serious hemorrhage will occur.
What if she was prepared to handle it? Like, she has medical knowledge. Could she have been prepared to take care of the problem when she started it?
Maybe, or the knife was placed in such a way that it didn't, like, stop the bleeding. In other words, a medic would have need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. Or are we going to argue she is a medic? Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it. Or, yeah.
Oh, well, thank you for such a thorough explanation.
You see, Counsel, when you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath.
Back to the witness testimony, please.
Let's
Basic
hear about that.
knowledge.
Ah, no. No, go back.
Basic knowledge.
Basic knowledge.
In that case, there's an obvious explanation here.
Which is?
Clearly, the defendant Ray Membami-san does not possess an ounce of sense!
Wait.
You got me there!
What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba?
Honestly, she's not wrong.
Oh.
I'm not sure you should be labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense.
Damn, dude.
Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer.
I don't know young people today. If that's friendship, I don't understand it.
Oh.
Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing.
Everybody just like, you be nice to her.
Oh dear. That recoiled on me rather badly.
She's a murderer, not a fool. That's life, I'm afraid. A lesson everyone must learn.
Hopefully, you can see now that this is a very basic medical knowledge. Being involved in medical research, Membami-san would certainly have been aware of it.
Hold it!
But the defendant has suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently.
I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. Oh, bye, Wander.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally.
Oh, but irrational behavior is a woman's prerogative, isn't it?
Susato.
Oh dear. You have a lot to learn about women. Only a small-minded man would have such bigoted views.
Okay, good job, Hosnaga.
Oh dear. Perhaps I'm letting my male persona take a hold a little too much.
Well, I have managed to convey the basics now. That should cover the medical side of the argument.
Tell me about that.
Whatever the motive, it just isn't in Membami-san's nature to do something so awful.
Welcome back.
My your computer volume just like tripled very suddenly. It almost blew my ears out.
Ooh.
Oh.
And it hasn't quite been fixed. Everything's very loud.
Okay.
Your computer has become like mine.
You also
Maybe I
left
should
the
get
call.
Today.
Yeah, I did because you guys were very loud and it was hurting my ears.
Oh dear.
Is it better now?
No.
Okay.
I guess just try and turn us down in Discord then.
Yeah.
But she had both motive and opportunity. That's very hard to argue against.
But you don't know the defendant.
Right.
And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law!
He's got a point. Wait, no, she knows the law.
Yeah.
Yes, evidence is not the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings. With this fledgling to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused.
So do I.
Oh.
Inspector, you will reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please.
Ah, yes. Miss Bread was in many ways the sworn enemy of Membami-san. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor.
Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Membami-san's talent and offered her a position of assistant despite her being a woman. She was incredibly grateful to him.
Yes, the Englishman appeared to have been a very broad-minded individual. Ark, take him.
Oh, okay. Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Membami-san's abilities.
Clearly the defense was in the man's depth, which only serves to prove my point. Yeah, I wonder, I was trying to reset the computer, see if that fixes it.
Okay.
This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in this testimony anywhere. If Ray knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of a way to explain why she did it.
Susato, it's at times like these when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals.
The fundamentals?
Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, isn't it?
Of course, but I've been through the court record dozens of times already.
We've been through it like twice.
I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine it in greater detail, too.
Ah!
I realize this is your first time playing the role of lawyer in the courtroom, so if you need a reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help.
Examine the evidence in the court record. That's an idea, certainly. What should I do?
I know what to do. I'm fine. We're good.
I like how they're presenting it like this, like assuming you played the previous game so you know most things.
Yeah.
But still give you the option like, hey, in case you forgot!
Yeah, here's a refresher. Come to think of it, Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san were always turning evidence over and over in their hands. Yes, I need to examine things in greater detail with A.
By the look in your eyes, I see it's coming back to you. Go through the court record again and have a thorough look at everything. You may just find a clue.
Yes, I'll do it straight away.
Bring back my narrator voice for that character. All right, let's have a look at things.
Let's look at the pen.
The pen, yeah, the
that's a good
pen,
idea.
yeah, the pen. First, you.
So that can't be any other letters than R and M.
Wow, look at this cool picture.
Yeah. She even got 2D art here.
Yeah.
The RM initials are very clearly engraved here.
And the fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is very clearly a message to...
To identify her killer, you mean?
I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case.
Welcome back.
I wonder.
Oh,
Probably voice bot starting up as well.
if we take off the pen's lid...
Turn it around.
Oh,
All right, I'm back now.
All right.
Hello.
Welcome.
Things seem to be better. What did I miss?
Not a lot. Not really. We
We're
We're
started.
now
now
just,
examining the
uh,
pen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got reminded. Hey, examine your items.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, let's just unscrew the barrel, shall we?
There's a gun.
There's a knife. There's a
Gun.
vial.
Gun in the pen.
It is poison, probably.
This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink.
Yes. You fill it by drawing ink from a bottle up through the nib.
Is something wrong, Father?
The volume.
Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there is all.
Oh, yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose.
Well,
Okay. There's a very small amount of liquid still inside.
but
is-
is it ink liquid or is it other liquid?
Yeah, that's
Is
a
it
good question.
poison?
I guess we can't tell.
How much poison is in this exactly? Like,
No,
like
makes
roughly.
sense.
Poison. The poison
100% poison. Oh. Wait, what's this? Anything? Eh? You got
What?
something? Oh.
There's some sort of emblem here. Look. But it isn't a Yume University one.
It must belong to some other organization, I suppose, a business of some kind. But that would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray.
Oh, interesting. I just had a theory, and
Oh.
God, I want it to be right. Is that there's another person in this courtroom who definitely has a pen. I hope. Okay. Yeah, is that relevant to anything that they're saying here? Basic knowledge. Defendant would have tried to pull the knife out. Young student did have a victim. Oh, that doesn't help at all. Maybe there's something else?
Paper?
What, this? Oh, now we can. Oh, okay, all right. Now
we
we
can
okay.
flip it around too. Ralca's England returnees tell all. Is this the interview with you and Toseki-san, is it, Father?
They're having a good time.
It looks as though it was quite an exchange.
Yes, he became a little overanimated when he was talking about his time in England. The photographer managed to capture the moment his hand karate chopped me on the neck.
I was wondering about that.
I do hope you weren't hurt.
Ha ha ha. See?
Hey!
You got me good. All right, what else do we have?
Ha! I barely felt a thing.
I don't feel anything anymore.
This is the newspaper from Toseki-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory.
Can't believe it.
No.
What
No!
a shocker! From Yume's Universal Research. Father, isn't that your lab?
What?
What in tarnation? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen?
You
I
should
was
know
the first I'm
this.
hearing about this.
You should know this.
Yeah, why are you just now learning about this? It's this morning's paper that Soseki-san gave us.
How?
Are you saying you didn't know?
How could he possibly? This seems irrelevant that he doesn't know.
As embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned his information?
Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there?
It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on in the strictest confidence. I'd put Ray in charge of the project.
Ray! She was managing it.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me.
Uh-oh.
And moreover, the details were leaked somehow.
I don't believe it.
It's not looking good. We need to read this article very carefully.
Article about the poison has been entered into the court record. Article about poison that was stolen from a laboratory at Yuma University. Even my father, who's responsible for the lab, knew nothing of the incident. Okay. Is there more? You got anything else? Anything else? You want to go over the other stuff? And you know that you've got several pages, I bet.
No,
if you
no,
open...
only front
Hey!
and back page.
Oh, this is the symbol for Le Carnival.
Oh, yeah!
That's fun. Okay. Let's get out of here. Okay, now we have this. Do you have more? Okay. Following a lecture at Yume by Soseki Natsume on 11th of August, it's come to light that a very disturbing incident took place. A deadly poison being secretly developed in the university's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade, would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical. The university would have to be consulted. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death. Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. It's apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military. So, I'm sure everybody's thinking this. The poison was probably in the pen, and the pen is probably the actual murder weapon.
Yes.
Mhm.
Now, I was gonna think, but no, that wouldn't make sense. Like, the thing is, like, it stops the muscles from letting her breathe, right?
Right. Which is
So,
the same kind of thing. It could even be the same poison. It could be.
yeah. I think it's the very same poison, probably.
I hope
Because
it
it
is.
even says it had to be through a wound or something, which was just like the same one. It's safe to ingest, but not wounds.
Do you
Well,
think
wait, hold on.
Mhm.
Go to page 2 real quick.
All right.
Same poison as what?
Even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth
never
or
mind.
via a wound. So no, I don't think it's the
That's
same poison.
true.
So it could have been the
can't-
wine.
Could be the wine. Could be the. Well, yeah, but I think it's more likely to be the pen, personally. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
That's-
like,
Now,
That's
could have
good.
used the pen to like put some into the wine.
Oh, sure. Okay. But the fact that it's a fountain pen that has a sharp tip, you know, I don't. That
It
personally
might be
Yeah,
the
that
red
is-
herring, though. We might be getting Scoobied.
might be.
anything else that we can expect on the picture itself?
The
Of the
picture-
crime scene?
The picture. It's. Oh yeah. Maybe I can
Oh,
actually
the
look at it
crime
now.
Scene, yeah.
Probably not if it's giving me the magnifying glass.
What about that little slit in the back? Can you look at
Nah. If it brings up the magnifying glass, that's the end
that?
of it.
Yeah, I can't examine anything with it.
More here? Probably not.
I doubt it.
Yeah. Okay. So, we learned about the pen. We learned about this poison. That's very interesting. Is there...
The death?
Huh? What? Sorry? What are you telling me to do?
Like the report, does it say anything like special?
What, this? The one that we
Nothing
just
we
looked
didn't
at?
already
Yeah.
know.
We just
We
looked
already
at that.
know of the pupil constriction, which matches up with the poison.
Right. Yep. Yep. I think that's right. So odd that the knife isn't being added to evidence also. Pulling a blade
Yeah.
from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding.
I think this is why.
Let's not forget
Like-
what, this bit?
Yeah, I think this is what we probably have to, you have to prove that there was a good reason to remove the knife.
Well, do you think
Oh,
that the
if it was
reason
like-
is... Yeah, if she figured that she was poisoned somehow, then she would
Mhm.
try to remove the cause of the poison? Is that the idea?
think so. Like, I'm wondering if she might know, oh, if she was poisoned, there is something I must do to, like, make it her not die from the poison.
Sure.
That's my guess.
I don't
So-
know if we want to present that here, though. I think we're just a step ahead.
I don't know about that. Let's not forget that the young student did have a motive. The man, the murder victim. And yet, I don't see why I would object to any of the rest of this.
Yeah, I feel like the middle statement is at the very least the one you need to represent something.
Just
Or is this one of those lovely moments where you have to press something twice?
I'll try
on
it.
case 1?
No, no, press it. Hold it.
Trial case?
I'm just gonna skip through it though.
Yeah.
Whee!
Total.
This is the sexist one. Okay. Oh, that's the end of that. No good reason. Huh? Oh dear. Is
And
there?
we can't present profiles, yeah.
Right. Yeah, I can't even go to them. Could I have missed something on the pen?
There's a possibility of it.
Open
Like
the
there's
cap.
the emblem that is not Yume University, and then there's the vial inside of it.
Open.
We did this already.
We did this
but-
already, but maybe I just missed something. Maybe I just missed something. It doesn't look like I did. Uh-oh. It's
No,
awful.
I
It's
don't think
awfully
so.
early to be getting stuck like this. Well, tell you what. How about a save? How about our very first save of the
Sure.
game? Sounds great.
Oh, so there was no last time you saved.
That's well, I mean, that's true. You got me.
But now there is.
Does anybody have a suggestion on what to try?
What I just said.
Well, so wait a minute. What do you want me to present?
The article.
Okay, sure. This one,
The
then,
other,
right?
yeah.
Sounds like it worked.
Okay.
I'm the
No.
best!
There is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound.
That's great.
What? Ha! The yokel not only has a poor grasp of the law, but is also a poor loser!
Mr. Turtle is shocked.
Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified?
It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume unit.
The victim perished from a stab wound! Poison has no relevance in this case.
But
Prosecutor Ouchie, you will let the defense speak.
But a newspaper article! The court cannot rely on a kind of hearsay with those wretched publications carry.
Hmm?
Counsel for the defense. I'm going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertion.
Your Excellency! I mean, they're right. The article is just a hearsay until proven otherwise, so...
yes, of course. Thank you. I would
Hearsay
never have
can
done
still be
something to
admitted.
further endanger Miss Brett's life without cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says,
Poison stolen from laboratory, deadly in tiny quantities. Why? I'm actually gonna reread this article. The
I'm gonna
reason
guess it's
she pulled it out.
tiny.
I think it's the middle one.
Well,
Middle one.
even the smallest amount, either via the mouth or via a wound, will prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly doing.
Oh, maybe not.
Whoa.
Oh,
Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute.
Yeah.
So she thought that if she took it out fast enough, that it would save
Maybe.
her. Maybe that's my guess. Why is the
I don't
poison
know.
being developed? I'm gonna say that.
According to the article, the development of the poison was requested by the military.
Yes. A troubling revelation indeed.
Oh, it's very worrying.
And yet, even more worrying,
No, shut up.
It's the middle one.
No, shut up.
is how this yokel is trying to manipulate the court with nothing more than rumors.
No.
Ah!
Yeah, I think it's the deadly in trace amounts.
Oh, fine.
But I feel sure Ray had a good reason for her actions. And I feel sure the explanation is somewhere in this newspaper article.
Try reading the article again.
Yes. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says...
Still feel like that answer should have been fine, but okay.
I didn't really quite see what relevancy was there, actually.
The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes.
Are you suggesting?
If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Membami-san, would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body.
What? This is complete and utter nonsense!
Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life. And the prosecution cannot deny the possibility.
Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document.
Well, that's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please! This is clearly desperation. The weasel last breaking of wind. Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, as I believe the defense is well aware. Don't read the section about being undetectable. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway. In that situation, what the students should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicions then, or the argument makes no sense. Exactly! Well put, Inspector! On what grounds did she do it, yokel?
Why did Ray suspect the stolen poison was involved? If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds.
What?
Coffee grounds.
You can't possibly.
From your expression, Counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this court as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence.
Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times. From my place at his side and the Old Bailey.
In that case, Counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link between this case and the poison in the newspaper article?
The autopsy?
The autopsy, yeah? With the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah, definitely that. Okay, here you go.
I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim.
Ah!
Clearly being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea, so do please tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death.
Wow! Under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constrictions instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes. What are you doing, you yokel detective?
In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, ending with acute constriction of the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely.
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt.
Prosecutor Aochi,
Yes?
I think you will agree this is very compelling evidence.
You yokel student, that yokel professor!
You're gonna call the professor a yokel?
I learned a new word the other day.
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reason for the defense's actions. Eugene Mikotoba.
Yes, Your Excellency?
Got it. I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the truth, tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please.
It pains me to have to admit it, but I'm afraid I don't know.
You don't know?
The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft.
Do you mean to tell the court that the report of this theft are unfounded?
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say.
Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic.
I tripped over one word.
Bumbling! Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads of it in the newspaper.
I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father.
What did you say?
Nothing.
I mean, Daddy.
Bother.
No, that's worse.
Never mind, keep that away from me. A pitiful situation for a university professor.
Bother figure.
You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded.
Is it her?
Oh, hi. How
None
am I
of this-
holding this pose?
It's okay, get it out. None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault.
Right.
Judge.
I'm just trying to get... Membami-san! You stand accused here. Outbursts like that will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What?
So you knew.
I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Saseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was.
Why didn't you let me know immediately?
I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential, but some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So, I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea of who the thief was.
The thief? You don't mean...
Yes, of course, it was that dainty Englishwoman.
Miss Giselle Brett?
Giselle.
Giselle.
Who knows?
And call it Jezebel that time.
To be fair, I've only ever seen it written.
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison.
Well, now. Whatever do you mean?
Haha, you're dead.
You died.
And then... she suddenly got to her feet, before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they'd shrunk to tiny pinpoints.
I don't believe it.
In other words, you realize that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips whilst I had been with her, which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body.
On the blade of the knife in her back.
And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes. If the amount that it had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time.
Your attempt to hide the truth from what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you have confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here in this courtroom now.
Your Excellency, do not be deceived! The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, then, Bonnie-san, if that's the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed.
Well,
You have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
I don't know because I didn't stab her.
Sure,
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
Right back at ya. Oh, I have evidence. And it's very much conclusive.
What's the prosecution up to? It was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it.
Is it the knife?
You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Ouchie.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I had imagined there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you brought this upon yourself.
Eh?
What the?
Could a more damning shot exist? The cruelty in the air on that beach is almost palpable.
We just established that she was removing the knife.
No. Stabbing. This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature.
So who took this picture?
Don't worry about it. where it shows the precise moment that Mbami-san plunged her dagger into the victim's back.
No, that's not true. No. No.
I don't believe it.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Now, counsel. Oh yeah, you said it.
Counsel for the defense, was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice has yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature.
Girls mature faster than boys. I mean...
I'll show you who's slow to mature.
Punch him.
Careful now. Suzato is starting to show her face here.
It is something, or it is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words. It's kind of a new thing. And here, we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photography, a photographic print, as evidence.
It's mine now.
I can't believe he's had a photograph like that up his sleeve the entire time.
I would like to see if I could do anything with it. I did not think I could, but okay. All right. Yeah, definitely tell me why this photograph exists. Who took that?
Such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words.
Wander.
Yeah, I keep muting myself because there's heavy traffic. Wait a minute, I don't understand. How did you... I mean, who took that photograph?
Yeah.
Ray.
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert the attention.
I think it's wrong.
No. Slap his bald head.
Someone with the initials RS, maybe? Oh.
She was just gonna take it.
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photograph was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
Good.
I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once.
Who could it possibly be? Well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Excuse you?
Pardon?
Fox.
You see, the print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday.
Oh.
But there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown.
That's so unbelievably sketchtastic. Holy crap.
We can't fake photographs in our time.
Jesus.
Goodness!
Are we to understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nevertheless believe it fit for submission as evidence in Supreme Court?
Strike it from the record. When you first produced that print before, I noticed that you hesitated for a brief moment. Because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you?
Silence. You uncle student and blabbering professor. What matters is the blatant truth that this print so eloquently expresses.
But the defendant has already admitted to pulling the blade from the wound.
Yes.
Clearly, this isn't the moment the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but...
the moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste the court's time with your ramblings. Also, I noticed something about that shot.
Oh, yeah?
That's from the hole where they stabbed them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court.
I mean, if I was a part of the defense right now, I'd ask that the whole trial be put off until that information's found. That's incredibly relevant.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
If the defense is unable to shed any further light on the matter, I believe the conclusion is clear.
Well, what the
Oh
shit?
no!
Susato, this is the time for you to fight. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
Yes, we just need to prove that somehow.
You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Aochi in the court of law.
If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be a clue somewhere. There must be some way of working out who took it.
Well, counsel,
Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph. And the truth is,
Well, I sure
I
as hell have a
don't know.
guess, but do I have a way of saying that? Let me just read this. Former is a successful author, witnessed the case. Uh-oh.
Yeah, he's not showing up here.
Yeah, he's not in our
Where is
people category yet.
where is the man's?
We have no evidence to point towards him yet, but probably the statement that we had to pick between.
Okay, so
Hold
what?
on,
What
can we look at the newspaper article again?
Which one, this one?
The one, yeah, this one.
which one?
The picture.
The picture. It's. I mean, I could do this. Does this help? I don't know.
Keep going through the text.
Okay. Eh.
Well,
So that we could read it.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Garage shop.
Manage the money. Do hope you weren't hurt. That's really it. Maybe we say I don't know, and then it'll kind of help us out from there?
But that's the coward's way out.
No, it's the Ace Attorney way out. Let's do it. No,
that's
crap!
the way out we have taken the entire time.
Yeah.
no. If I give up now, I'll never be able to look Ray in the eye again.
Susato, you need to steel yourself and summon your best argument.
I'll do my best.
Use the summoning circle I drew.
what?
Wait, what? This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with an answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
What? No, you can't possibly. But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us.
Unfortunately, I'm unable to present a name.
How utterly underwhelming. Do you really think...
However, I am able to present evidence. The
I hate
defense
that.
has a piece of evidence that reveals important details about the photographer's identity.
What?
Very well then, counsel. Present your proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photographer?
Review scene.
Huh? What?
Hold L.
Review scene?
Reviews?
Press
Yeah.
L.
Oh. Oh.
Ah.
Well, that's a nice button.
And then can we look at the picture that they have on the left side?
Yeah, the crime scene photograph.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
So what we're guessing is they're from the hole in the back, right?
I mean, sure.
That doesn't reveal the identity
Yeah.
of them, though.
But it shows where it was taken from.
And then if you look at the picture again, because there are some things that bothers me about the picture itself. Like, what's this on the right?
A twig?
Is it?
I would guess that. What would you guess?
Is it broken camera lens?
Oh, okay. Maybe.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Does somebody have a broken cam? Oh, wait. Does
Wait,
this
look at-
picture? Oh! Okay. All right. Nicely spotted. Nicely spotted.
Good catch.
What is that? The newspaper again?
Holy shit, that's a tough one to get.
Yeah.
For the first trial.
Yeah. They bumped it up.
Rack House?
Raucous.
Raucous England returnees tell all.
Row, bring the ruckus.
It's not the headline that's relevant here, Your Excellency. It's the photograph.
Look at this.
If you look closely, you'll notice that there are some white lines on the right-hand edge.
Ah, yes, indeed. They'd already caught my eye, as it happens.
Well, then why didn't you say something, Judge?
Ha! What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably. From the branches of a tree or the like.
There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Are you sure it's not a twig?
Shut up. It looked like a twig!
Now, if you look closely at this photograph,
Oh, good gracious.
yes, exactly the same pattern of lines is present on this photograph too.
Well, that tells us nothing. Huh? Yes, it's a shadow of some kind. Definitely, from the branches of a tree.
It's a twig.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside the hut in a hut at a beach council.
Yeah, but it's made out of straw. The hut itself.
Arc noises.
Those are art noises?
What? What's quite remarkable about it is that the patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired?
The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic prints is the result of...
The photographer's
Bottom,
technique.
bottom,
Some tree branches. Yes. Yeah, definitely that one. I want to pick it, but I'm gonna go with the camera defect.
Camera.
Obviously, it must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs.
With a photographic device?
Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched. And that the scratched lens caused unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken by the same camera.
Arc noises.
What? There must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It will be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one. It's not like we have someone that took the picture and why this person?
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie, that one of the photographs appeared in a newspaper article.
A newspaper? Ah.
That's right. The author of the article is the mystery witness to this crime.
What?
What?
That's probably you.
Minimum. Oh no.
No.
I see why you were called a rat. What was the word again?
Raucous?
Fine.
Raucous.
England returnee.
Raucous.
Raucous.
It's raucous.
What are you yelling at? Wow, you're already testified.
It's Minamimoto, I tell you! Minamimoto!
Minamimoto!
Any memo?
Minamimoto!
Yeah, it's me. You
Hang
got
on.
me.
Many,
Many
memo.
Many memo.
Many memo.
Many-
Oh, many.
Many memo.
Oh.
Mo! Hello.
So Seki-san, what was that?
It was a dance.
Dance.
Did you say Minamimoto?
Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the show news has been hounding me, following my every move.
Show you.
Show
news.
you.
That's good.
Show you news.
We gotta show you the news.
A reporter of the name Ray 10 Many Memo.
Write and
Right.
many memo.
Write many memos. Oh my god.
That is.
That's a good one.
I've missed this. I've
Yeah. I missed
miss
the
getting the
Ace
puns.
Attorney pun names.
Also, Right-Ten is a cool name.
Mhm.
Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk.
Now that he mentions it,
How did you not think to point this guy out?
The secretly spy snapshot, scribble stories of and scoop for my privacy.
could that same reporter be?
No, we never got his name. He wasn't
I
even a
can't-
defendant.
No.
A camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right.
They're talking about
stuck in the middle with you.
they're talking about Ray Membami. Ray Membami.
Oh, the
Remember
defendant.
me.
Oh.
Remember me.
Oh yeah, remember me.
That's,
I'm sorry
I'm
again.
sure she's.
Remember me.
Mhm.
Oh.
She's gonna be
No,
okay.
Lunar, no! Don't say this!
She's going to be okay.
She's gonna be just fine. Did you say this
Oh,
was
I
like?
can't do sing that song.
Yes,
Okay.
there I am, stuck in the middle with right in many memo.
Bob Dylan, all right.
So you're saying that this picture was taken by many memo? Yes, my lord, your excellency, Esquire, officer. Find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom.
I mean, he's here, right?
Back.
Ain't he right?
I should be here.
We will adjourn for a short recess in the many men time.
Yes, Your Excellency.
As you say, Your Excellency.
And one more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
Meh. Many memo!
Oh.
Meh.
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 Me.
To be continued.
Okay.
Welcome to CATV where we make sounds.
CATV sounds. Still August.
Antechamber 3.
I'm so sorry, Susato. I should have told you about the toxin.
We should have told you that they pulled you out the knife too.
Yeah. You should have told us many things.
Ray,
You have a strong sense of responsibility, I know. That's why you decided to shoulder the burden alone.
No, that's not it at all. I was scared of my failure coming to light, that's all. So I hoped to retrieve the substance from the Englishwoman before anyone found out. Before the trial started, Do you remember what you said, Susato? That you had no doubt in your mind about my innocence. That you'd stand by me to the last.
Did you just pick up on
RM.
Yeah, the initials. I just got that right now for some reason.
Yeah, me too. I was just like, oh yeah, the pen. The pen!
Why did we get that at specifically the same moment?
Same brain cell.
Same brain cell.
Wait, did I miss
told
something?
you.
Yeah,
I remember.
The pen says RM, and that's the initials of the new guy that we just heard of. Right 10 Memo.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought that would be the case.
Yeah, but now it's confirmed.
Yeah.
And yet I didn't deserve your trust in me. I hid important details from you, Susato. I completely betrayed your faith in me. Hit me, Susato! I deserve it! No, in fact, throw me to the floor! No. No, that's too good for me as well. Drag me through the city streets.
No! I'm no better, you know. Even though in my heart I believed, or I knew that you pulled the knife blade from Miss Brett's back. There was just a brief moment when, in my mind, I doubted you.
Susato!
How the fuck dare you?
I'm sorry. After I stood here and promised you that I'd stand by you and always be on your side.
Stand by me.
I betrayed your faith in me too. And as such, I failed you as a lawyer.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I think this situation has taught both of you a valuable lesson.
You shouldn't be a lawyer, and you shouldn't be the defendant.
Placing your unbridled faith in another is no easy task.
Yes, Father. That fact has certainly struck home. Which is why I can see more clearly now. So, Ray...
The ray is gone.
Yes?
Can you find it in your heart to forgive me?
No.
Oh, Susato! You know you'll always be a gallant, dashing lawyer in my eyes now.
Oh, Ray.
She's turning into Eenie Meenie.
Honestly, yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. You should, like, keep that outfit.
You should lie.
I was so scared, you know, when it happened. I didn't know what was going on. The English woman was sitting at the back of the hut, listening to what I was saying. I know it was you who stole the poison.
Well, now. Whatever do you mean?
Oh.
Oh.
And then, a moment later, she suddenly got to her feet
And died.
before collapsing on the floor in front of me with a knife in her back. It all happened right before my eyes.
And you were the only people in the hut at the time.
That's right. Just Miss Brett and myself. There was no one else. So I just don't understand how she could have possibly have been stabbed like that.
I think maybe we weren't supposed to notice that tiny slit in the door, like right away, on the wall.
Maybe not. It's a little obvious, though.
It would have been more better if the shack seemed more flimsy overall, but yeah.
Yeah.
A great mystery indeed.
I still can't believe it happened. That's why I just couldn't bring myself to speak up.
It will be all right. However it happened, and whatever really went on by the sea that day, I promise you that I'm going to prove everything that you've said you saw is true.
Spoken like a true Mikotoba.
Now I think we should discuss what's coming up in the trial, don't you? We don't have much time. We must make sure we have our facts in order.
Yes, I expect the poison is going to come under close scrutiny in the upcoming proceedings. The police should hopefully have identified it on the blade by now.
The trouble is, it's a completely new laboratory-synthesized blend of alkaloids. The police won't have any way of testing for it.
Oh, I see.
Couldn't you test for it?
Yes, without this chemical reagent, it's impossible to detect the toxin.
Why
I don't know why I didn't give it to them. Hang on, excuse me a moment.
Yeah, why do you have this here? Chemical reagent?
I sent a colleague of mine off with some earlier to deliver to police headquarters. Aha, I thought I had.
We good.
Okay.
I think perhaps you should have some as well, though, just in case.
Thanks.
Test it on the pan immediately.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
If it
can
turns
I?
purple, then it's this kind of poison. If it turns green, it's this kind of poison.
Oh, wow. What's that say?
What? The label appears to be written in a foreign language that I don't know.
It's German, so your knowledge of English is going to be of little help here, I'm afraid.
Why is
That's
that?
some of help. But I'm here.
Couldn't you have just written medicine on it in Japanese? Then we'd all be able to read it.
German is the international language of medicine, my dear. But yes, I can certainly see the merit of labeling the bottle in Japanese. Although I'm not sure medicine would be entirely appropriate.
I can't actually read it because I'm not able to read that handwriting.
Yeah,
I think it's just. I don't think it's actually meant to.
It clearly says Rayman. Yeah, that's definitely it. I think that's
Rayman
it.
confirmed?
Rayman confirmed. Yeah.
New Rayman games, new Rayman Smash.
Yep, all confirmed.
Congrats, winner.
What's the matter, Cesaro? You're suddenly very quiet.
It's this newspaper article. Exclusive deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. I'm wondering how... Damn you. I'm wondering how the information got out, given that it was a government secret.
It was all the English woman's doing.
I mean, all I'm getting right now is that my reporter man is a little bit dumb.
No.
What?
It was when the professor and Sasaki-san were being interviewed at the laboratory. That so-called English lady swanned in and without any compunction said to Professor Mikotoba,
"Oh, Professor, surely your guest would love to hear about your work on that substance there?"
It put me in a very awkward position, to be frank. But Sasaki-san's curiosity had been piqued, so I had little choice but to give him a cursory introduction.
So then, Sasaki-san knew about the poison.
Yes, and it's highly likely that the reporter who was writing up the story about us would have caught a glimpse of the toxin too.
This Many Memo-san. By the way, did that reporter join you at all when you went to the beach?
"Oh, no, I don't remember the reporter being there."
Indeed, he shouldn't have been there. I very much doubt anyone would have wanted him there.
Oh?
A known criminal had been given permission by the authorities to bathe by the seaside. Sasaki-san pointed out that inviting a reporter might be problematic, so the man was sent back to his office.
Yet he obviously didn't go back. He secretly followed the party to the beach and took this very candid photograph.
You try to take pictures of two ladies in a dressing room?
Oh,
Jail. Prison for 1,000
Jail.
years.
Uh-oh.
And then presumably he posted it anonymously to the police.
Oh,
Yes, that must be what happened.
Oh,
Counsel! We've just heard the new witness is now ready to testify! The trials are about to resume! Please proceed to the courtroom at once!
Hey, you get a credit for 20 minutes, Ark.
It's time to seal ourselves once again, then. Defense attorney Ryutaro Naruhodo.
Yes.
I thought of Ryuichi first, but that one just seemed weak.
Ray has put her faith in me now and told me everything. So I can't let her down. I have to prove that what she's telling the court is true. I have to prove what really happened that day.
okay, let's do it.
Sure, let's go.
It is August right now.
It is?
Yep.
Why didn't you tell me?
I hereby call this court to order, as we convene to continue the trial of Ray Member Me. Prosecutor Ouchie, have you summoned the new witness?
Before I address that question, Your Excellency, I
Uh,
have some very important news to share.
What news? And why does he look so happy about it?
During the recess, the collaboration of Professor Mikoto's laboratory at Yuma University and the police re-examined the knife that was used to end Miss Giselle Brett's life.
Excellent. I admire your rapid handling of the matter.
Oh, too kind, Your Excellency, too kind! I was
think-
merely carrying out...
Mm.
Bitch. I was merely carrying out your instructions, of course!
What was that exactly? I didn't quite catch it.
Stitch! I found a Stitch!
Oh, well.
I had the reagent delivered to police headquarters by rickshaw, so it'd be there in good time.
But judging by the
No,
man's...
no,
Wait,
no.
wait,
But
wait. Still Mikotoba.
Judging by the man's swagger, I fear we might need to brace ourselves for the inevitable.
I mean, it's still where I come from, right?
And counsel, what were the results?
This dagger, which was so cruelly used to end the life of the victim, has no trace of poison anywhere along its blade.
What? Are you sure about that?
I mean, that's good.
But she
Uh,
didn't
well-
know that.
At the
Not good
point
for the...
at the point that they're at in the trial, I guess it's not good, but it's good. It is good in the end.
Yeah, too bad it's in the vial of the pen.
No.
I would stake the reputation of the police on it.
Armed with the reagent, the test is extremely simple. They couldn't have made a mistake.
All right.
In short, the accused's feeble excuse earlier.
Yeah, tell me about that in a minute. What do you got? You got anything interesting? You want to tell me about things? You wanna
No.
Huh.
Ah, yes, this must be the victim's blood.
Oh dear. Blood is never a pretty sight, is it? I'm having to fight the urge to run it under a hot tap and get it clean.
You've always been fastidious about cleanliness, haven't you?
I think this is something else, Father.
Ha! Gotcha. I guess that's it, huh? Yep, that's all of it. All right, you may continue.
Has been utterly destroyed!
She'll be fine.
It was a dramatic pause that did a well impact. Now the prosecution is ready to call a new witness.
Ah, the newspaper reporter who managed to capture a photograph of the crucial moment. Good. Very well, officer. Bring in the witness.
No trace of poison on the knife. But if that's really the case, how could the toxin have entered the victim's body?
Oh no.
Oh, I got it.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Raiten Menimimoto of the Shoyu News. I'm what people like to call a journo.
What's a journo, Father? Do you know?
I'll tell you when you're older. It's simply a contraction of journalist.
I'm there when the news breaks,
Yeah.
putting pen to paper to catch those scoops so they're in the print the next morning.
Well, we got it.
They don't call me the hero of the Herald for nothing, the nice guy of news.
Oh, so, it was you who took this photograph, was it?
Well, what do we have here?
I'm sorry?
Oh, brace yourselves, people! Many memo. This is hard. Many memo senses a scoop in the offing. Well,
His name's kind of a tongue twister.
it is. Female student up to foul play defended by a curiously handsome young lawyer in Supreme Court. The readers will lap this up. We'll set it above the fold. It's 72 point in a 5-leg format for the morning edition.
Huh?
All right then, let's start with your name.
Oh, it's Ryutaro Naruhodo. Nanyamebebe.
Next, and what made you want to become a lawyer?
I'm asking the questions here.
Well, I wanted to reform our country's legal system, I suppose.
Ryutaro has suddenly become very ambitious, I see.
I just borrowed Kazuma-sama's dream for a while.
By the way, my name is Taketsuchi Aochi. That's Taketsuchi Aochi. The so-called Dark Horse of the Supreme Court. My objective is to strike fear into every defense lawyer's hearts.
No, the readers won't buy that.
Witness.
Yes.
What this court demands to know is whether or not you are responsible for taking this photo. It was delivered anonymously to the Imperial Police Bureau only yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't be a journo if it didn't click quick when I presented with a scoop like that, now would I? Sometimes stories call out to me, sometimes I have to chase them down, but either way, you've got to be fast. Fast legs to run with and a fast hand to write with. It's no good if you don't note it down, as I always say. That's what I call my many-memoism. Very good.
Many memoism. Many memoism?
Oh, yes, I remember your face. We met that day when you were interviewing myself and Suzuki-san.
Yes, right. That was me, Many Memo again.
But you were supposed to be going back to the Shoyu News offices after our meeting.
But the scoop is, I didn't. Because that Englishwoman's words had piqued my journalistic interest.
Miss Brett's words?
A criminal, left to do as she pleases, just because she happens to be a British citizen. It's horse dung! This country's judiciary is rotten to the core. The Supreme Court's rulings aren't worth the paper they're written on. The police are just imperial pawns.
Stay your tongue, young man! There are complex political issues at play.
Oh, what was your name again? I'll read another article about you, I suppose. Well, anyway, I quickly jotted down those words she said in my memo pad. Are you ready? I'll read it out. It's all here. Right, here goes.
There are many memos in here.
I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. A serious criminal going on some junket? The people need to know about this. That's why I decided to sneak after him. To get the woman's story so I could hammer in the press.
Do you mean to say that you indeed witnessed it firsthand? the grim scene portrayed by this photograph?
Oh, yes! I saw it with my very own journo eyes, from start to finish, through the viewfinder of my trusty camera.
Thank you, Minimomo-san. You will now give a formal testimony before the court. You will state exactly what is it that you witnessed during your investigation on Miss Brett's death?
Okay.
Close enough.
Well, the beach hut was made of shoddy old reed screens, so there were plenty of gaps I could see inside through. The English woman was sitting on a stool when the student girl came in and started arguing with her. Seconds later, the girl pulled out a knife, throwing the English woman to the floor. She stabbed her in the back. The smoldering journo spirit burst into flames. Quick as a flash, I whipped out my camera, ready to click. I pulled apart the rough weave of one of the screens and poked the lens through for a perfect shot.
Reed screens, you say?
Right, you can see them clearly enough in that great shot I snapped. The hut walls were just screens made of coarsely woven reeds.
Yes, it allows the breeze to pass through and bring some relief to the summer heat.
And it was a breeze for me to poke my camera through and see the whole thing hotting up.
Ignoring for the time being the appalling invasion of privacy involved, did you witness anything that happened from the moment the defendant entered the hut?
Oh yes, I saw it. I saw the whole thing from start to finish.
And you say you took the photograph through a gap in one of the screens?
Luckily for me, they were pretty shoddily woven. I pulled the reeds apart and thrust the lens of my camera through the gap. Would I get away with it? Or would I be seen? It was all a gamble of a lifetime.
A tenacity of purpose that's considered admirable in a journalist, I suppose.
Run a risk a day, run a scoop the next. That's Menamimoism in a nutshell.
At last. It would appear we have a genuine witness to this wicked crime. I think. The evidence and testimony are extremely compelling. I believe we may be close to a verdict.
No!
Wonderful news, Your Excellency. Wonderful.
Nevertheless, it cannot be denied that this testimony begs one very large question.
What question?
Exclusive news, a startling photograph, all the makings of an exceptional story for the reporter. Why, then, was the story never published?
Oh, that's right!
It seems clear to me that there are circumstances at play here that are yet to be understood.
More pathetic excuses.
Very well then, counsel. Proceed with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Excellency. There's more to this reporter that meets the eye. He's keeping something about this case very close to his chest.
How does the suspenders get back under the strap of the camera?
Don't worry about it. Alright, let's talk about that, bud.
What made you want to see what was happening inside the beach hut in the first place?
Call it journo instinct. Can you think of a better reason?
Oh, I don't know. Perhaps because, as well as being a proven criminal, the person inside was a young woman.
Ah, I see where you're going with this. Brace yourselves, people. He's painting the journo as a voyeur.
It's hardly slander, sir. You had a camera and you were taking pictures without the woman's knowledge.
Nope, you've got it all wrong, little student boy.
Sorry?
To my mind, all that was inside the hut was a scoop. Nothing more, nothing less. Scoops know no gender. Man or woman, it's all news. That's not even many memoism, it's basic journalism.
If only the courtroom was as indiscriminate.
Right, so, if that's all buttoned up, can we, move on?
Tell the court then, witness, what sight befell your eyes when you looked into the hut?
A sight that vindicated my journo instinct, that's what. When I pulled back the reeds, I could see it all as clear as day.
So you actually saw Membami-san entering the hut?
Yep, and she was raging like my journo spirit.
And the argument you mentioned, what was that about exactly?
You stole it. I didn't steal it. That kind of thing, you know.
Talking about the poison, I suppose.
The student girl walked right up to the English woman and really started laying into her. I mean, if she'd laid into her anymore, there would have been a... What? Mikitoba?
The man should have been an author. His descriptive talents are wasted on journalism.
But the student's rantings fell on deaf ears like a Japanese person that's listening to English for the first time.
He really ought to work on his similes first, though, to be honest.
Anyway, the point is, the woman in the dock was mightily angry. Sad.
Sad.
I did not mute.
Oh.
Oh.
And her temper finally got the better of her, it seems. Dear me.
Which was the climactic moment that I caught on film. Let's talk about that. Yeah. Hold it.
Do you swear before the court that you actually saw the precise moment when the stabbing took place?
Ha! The precise moment? I didn't see just that. I saw the whole hellish scene play out from start to finish.
I have here a simple plan of the beach hut. Perhaps you could use it to explain to the court exactly what you witnessed.
Right you are. It's all right here in my many memo pad. Get better at this.
It's getting longer.
When I first peered into the hut, I'm sure that the English woman was on this stool at the back of the hut here.
Yes, the accused's own testimony confirmed that.
She just sat at the back of the hut smiling sweetly, is what I have noted down.
Hey, it's my turn to testify now. Try not to interrupt. Then, the next moment as I was watching, the evil student girl entered the hut. After a while, the pair of them ended up in the middle of the hut, arguing furiously. The English woman went for the student, but the girl dodged out of the way. And in a flash, plunged the knife into her adversary's back as the two passed each other.
Well, damn.
What you describe as a grim crime indeed.
Never sugarcoat the truth. That's what Menimimoism says. Many-memo-ism. I will get it.
Many-memoism. By the way,
It's hard.
Many-memo.
It's hard.
An enemy.
An enemy. Whilst you were watching that terrible scene unfold before your eyes through the gap in the screen, did it not occur to you to try to prevent the tragedy rather than capture it on film?
No. Journos have to be observers. We can't get involved. That's our... Wow. Raisin det... You know what, Wander? What's that?
Raisin Dieter. No.
Cool.
Raisin Dieter.
Raison d'être.
You see, it's French.
So you didn't converse with I can't speak suddenly. Miss
Nobody
Brett at all.
Everybody is incapable of a speech. Obviously not. An observer always remains on the outside looking in.
And that's something to be proud of, is it?
Okay. Raison d'être.
Huh.
Your Excellency, if I may.
Yes, Professor?
I think the witness's last expertly phrased statement should perhaps be added to his formal testimony.
Father, what are you...
I will grant the defense's request. Memo-san, you will be supplemented, or you will supplement your formal testimony with the aforementioned statement.
Well, nihilism is the foundation of many memoism, but I'll gladly prove that my words aren't meaningless.
What?
What?
I think what I'm gonna do is try to answer the question, and then as soon as we have
Yeah.
it, we'll just stop there, just so that we have a good
Yeah, we're
place
getting
to
there.
stop.
sense.
Yeah. Yes. Talk to me, bud.
Really? You didn't set foot inside the hut at all? Are you quite sure about that?
I think you may have the wrong impression of me. We're talking about a murder scene here. My nerves were stretched to breaking point already.
I get it.
Oh, I see. You were scared. Maybe I did have the wrong impression of you, yes?
It was all I could do to stifle a scream and hold my hand steady enough to snap the shot.
You really should have summoned help before thinking of your camera.
Many memoism and humanism don't always agree. And most of the time in those instances, many memoism comes out on top. As a sculptor of stories, sometimes I have to be cruel for my art. Yes, that's spot on!
Surely he's making all this up.
No, I think that sounds like he actually feels this way.
He claims to have spied the whole affair from start to finish. If true, his testimony is devastating. But it does seem as though he's
It
holding...
does seem as
No.
though he's holding something back, doesn't it?
Yes, it is. If that's how you feel.
Well, I'm glad we're
That's
on the
ex-
same page.
I suggest that you trust your instincts and press him on everything he said. As you've no doubt seen many times before in your role as judicial assistant.
Yes, I have. I've seen witnesses like this pressed often. I know exactly what to do.
Now we need to think. Okay.
I know what it is.
Tell me the thing. No, you know what? Let me think.
Last-
Let me think.
Okay.
Okay, Sap says last statement, so I'll look at it.
Well, usually, like, whenever they give a new statement, that's usually it.
Never once set foot in the
Well,
hut,
yeah.
nor spoke with the Englishwoman. I was only there as an observer.
Can
That
we
does-
take a look at the first crime scene photo?
Oh, sure. Are you suggesting... Oh, wait a minute. Let me see the photo that he showed us before. Oh, you can't tell if she's wearing shoes or not.
You can't really see.
Well, can I
She
see
was
if...
wearing swimwear?
I think the idea is she was changing into it, so there's a robe on top of her swimwear.
Can I see the pen?
Sure. What about it?
And the emblem? I'm sure of this bit.
What? The what? Oh, yeah.
The
That's
emblem at the top.
that's
Yeah,
that's for
it's
it's for certain.
So-
Pen. Yeah.
Oh,
She-
yeah, because his pen
and
was
she-
inside the hut.
Oh.
She was holding his pen.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, dude.
Yeah.
This your pen?
It's that for sure.
Yeah, it was the pen! And with that...
And with that.
And with that,
Memo.
that was a good stopping point.
Many memo. Many
memo.
I'm going to
Many
practice
memo.
saying his name before the next time. And many
Many
memoism.
memo.
I'm going to be much
Many
better.
better.
Whoops. Many memo. You're definitely gonna
Many
finish.
Memo.
You're definitely gonna finish this trial next stream and get a good start on case 2. Well, then we're doing even better than we did the first time.
Oh,
That's
cool.
great.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Even though we got caught up on that one bit. It's so great to be back to this. This is awesome.
Yeah.
And my new character, he's a jackass, but I'm enjoying him.
I love
good.
it.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
What are we doing tomorrow?
Tomorrow, I am doing Fremblem.
Yay! Enjoy
Fire
yourself.
Emblem Three Houses tomorrow, part 33.
Holy shit!
And I have basically 2 months to finish the game until Three Hopes comes out.
Until
Yup.
Warriors.
And then I continue.
Uh,
All right, folks. But
Fire
until
Emblem
then,
Warriors Age of Calamity.
thank y'all.
Yes, essentially.
Thank y'all very much for coming in, and we will see you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Bye-bye.